Hey guys, Nicolas here, back to another video, and welcome back to the DC film review retrospective. And today's DC film, what we're going to be reviewing is Batman 1989. The film was in 10 years of development hell when a bunch of studios were not interested in making a dark interpretation of Batman. That wasn't until when Frank Miller's The Dark Knight comic book storyline was released, and so the studios decided to do that, with Warner Brothers hiring Tim Burton after his success on films like Beetlejuice. The film was released in 1989, and it was a critical and a financial success. And what do I think about this movie? Well, let's get into the plot. So basically, the movie opens up in a city known as Gotham City, a city that is known to be one of the most terrible cities to live in, because there's a bunch of criminal things that are going on around in the city, and the police are trying to stop it. But there is one man who wants to stop crime around the city, and that is Batman. As a photographer known as Knox, basically, when he was trying to get more information about the Batman, well, he gets made fun of by the police and press. Isn't until when he teams up with Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger. As both Knox and Vicky Vale go to the party from Bruce Wayne to interview Bruce Wayne and others about the Bruce Wayne, played by Michael Keaton. Meanwhile, we get to see Jack Napier and his love interest, Jack Napier, played by Jack Nicholson. As they were both watching the news about Mayor Dent, Harvey Dent, played by Billy D. Williams. That's right, Lando Calrissian from Star Wars. Where Jack, meanwhile, is getting ready for a meeting with a crime boss. As Jack's crime boss basically wants him to rob something at Ace Chemicals, and so Jack decides to do it. Later after that, Commissioner Gordon gets a tip about that from the crime boss when he was calling. As Jack Napier was in Ace Chemicals, he realizes that he's been set up from his boss. As revenge for his affair on the love interest, don't know what her name is, Commissioner Gordon and the Gotham Police Department arrive to arrest Jack Napier. As Napier and his henchmen has been shooting out to the police, shooting at the police and trying to escape from Ace Chemicals. Later after that, Jack Napier gets to meet Batman, and with Batman stopping the crime and helping the police have been trying to track down this Batman. And later after that, Batman gets to face Jack Napier, and when Jack was trying to shoot the Batman deflects the bullet with his bat gauntlet, and the bullet heads towards Napier's face. And as it heads towards Napier's face, Napier is falling down, and Batman has tried to save him, but he just falls down to the chemicals and Ace Chemicals. Familiar to the Killing Joke storyline? Yeah, that one. It turns out that Napier was actually still alive, with a permanent grin in his face and with his skin bleached, and calls himself the Joker, and kills his boss. Later after that, he takes over the crime business, and and he alters everyday hygiene products to make people to basically make people laugh to death. And after that, he kills another crime boss, and after when he kills another crime boss or lord or whatever he was, he later then gets into his getaway van, and Bruce realizes that that Jack Napier is still alive. Meanwhile, as Bruce Wayne and Vicky Vale are dating, they both fall in love, and basically, yeah, like that. So then later after that, well, well then, you know, Batman is trying to find out about the altering everyday hygiene products and about the Joker. Meanwhile, Vicky Vale gives a call to Bruce Wayne saying uh, that she's at the museum waiting for Bruce Wayne. As it later then turns out that she wasn't going out on a date to see Bruce Wayne at the museum. It turns out that she's having a date with the Joker, in which she didn't know. And as this was a setup, as the Joker becomes obsessed with Vicky Vale, and basically, yeah, that's what happened. And after that, Batman saves him. After that, Batman saves Vicky Vale and stops the Joker. Well, not stop the Joker, but outrun the Joker's gang. And later after that, he gets to take Vicky Vale to the Batcave. As he does take her to the Batcave, Vicky Vale gets to be unconscious and gets sleepy. And later she wakes up in like her apartment or whatever that was. And Joker and then later after that, Joker gets inside Wayne Manor, and Wayne has tried to stop the Joker. Seemed to fail, but the Joker gets away. Joker then announced that he'll be at the parade and that he'll be dropping cash to the cash to the audiences at the parade. Later after that, Batman infiltrates the parade when Joker is sending his laugh gas to make people laugh to death. In which Knox gets hit by Vicky Vale with her car or someone else's car, I do not know. And Batman has tried to stop Joker, but then again has seemed to unfail. But then he later gets to find out that Joker kidnaps Vicky Vale again. Well, not again, but Joker gets to kidnap Vicky Vale and takes her to the church. Batman has tried to save her and beats the Joker's goons, and later gets to meet with Joker himself, beats him up, and as the Joker is falling to his death, but fortunately he didn't fall to his death, and he lured Batman to fall into his death. And as his getaway helicopter is coming up with the goons, he later then gets to get away, but before that, he just asks Batman to grab his hand, only to be tricked in grabbing the other hand. And later after that, well, he gets to escape, but unfortunately, Batman has tied the Joker on the hook has tied him with a grappling hook tied to a gargoyle. And Joker falls into his death, and the city realizes that there is a hero watching them, as we get to see Batman looking at the back signal as credits roll. The positives I can say about this movie is that, well, with the writing, that was really nice, although not perfect writing, but still, the writing is very nice. The story was not that bad. The characters, they were likable. Like, Michael Keaton does a really great job on playing both Bruce Wayne and Batman, and how identical to Bruce Wayne, although the writing does have some flaws about what Batman shouldn't do, and that some people don't get about what Batman is. Alright, but we'll get to that later in the negatives. And the visual effects, they were really great. They were really great with Tim Burton working on film. With Tim Burton, that he was really good on visuals. With working on visual films that he will work on later, such as The Nightmare Before Christmas and Mars Attacks and Planet of the Apes and of course, not only that, a corpse bra. The bat suit design for Tim Burton's Batman was really amazing. I really like the design that they wanted to use for the film. The design overall is really great and it's really amazing, as they wanted to distance themselves away from the campy 1966 Batman TV show. Yeah, R.I.P. Adam West. But anyways, trying to distance himself from the campy 1966 TV show by changing the costume instead of wearing spandex, because everyone thought that spandex is supposed to be the strong of the man. But Tim Burton wants to make Batman to be fearful, just like in the comics. So so they decided to change that, and they decided to replace it with the leather bodyguard suit, in which I agree. Batman is supposed to be fearful, and he's not supposed to be like the strongest man. So, like, he's not supposed to be like to wear spandex to be like the strongest man alive. Basically, that's basically what that is. Overall, I respect the ambition. The visual effects look really good. Jack Nicholson's Joker, Jack Nicholson's Joker looks really amazing. Although, distance himself away from the comics, where they distance themselves from the 1960 from, well, not the 1966 show. No. They were trying to distance themselves from the Killing Joke storyline, in which the Joker, if you don't know, the Joker becomes this. The Joker, he doesn't remember his name. In the movie, he was known to be Jack Napier, but in the Killing Joke, he didn't do anything bad other than breaking into an asylum. But he was tricked by the mob and was set up, basically, and they just used him as a lab rat. They just use him as a pawn to basically break into Ace Chemicals when he was trying to fight when he was trying to get away from the Batman. But unfortunately, he slipped and fell into an axis of unknown chemicals, and his skin got bleached, and he becomes the Joker. Which that referenced the Killing Joke storyline, but the Joker, when before he was the Joker, he was just a normal man who was trying to raise enough money and was trying to make people laugh, although not a lot of people seem to laugh his jokes, and was trying to raise enough money for his wife and his unborn child. Yeah, but I respect the ambition, but that's all I got for positives. Now let's get on to the negatives. Oh man, where do I begin? Well, the story now, is really good. There are some flaws with it, like some people that don't understand Batman's character. Letting Vicky Vale into the Batcave. Alfred letting Vicky Vale into the Batcave, and we know that Alfred doesn't let Vicky Vale or anyone into the Batcave without Bruce's permission, and not only that, Batman killing, where he's like the Punisher wearing a Batman mask, going killing his victims. And we know that in the comics, Batman has never killed, except for Zack Snyder, of course. Yeah, that is basically something wrong, and that is some people that doesn't know about about Batman's character arc these days, is that they don't learn, and they just want to like write about how Batman is like gonna kill people and shoot with a gun. Everyone knows that Batman doesn't use guns, and that in the main DC universe, Batman has never killed. Although there are some times that he has killed before for necessary reasons. But basically, yeah, he doesn't kill. He doesn't kill people. Of course, except for Zack Snyder. But we'll get into that later for this review for Batman v Superman. But anyways, Eh, But anyways, another problem that with this movie is that um is is that they use the Joker. They use the Joker to they use the Joker as the man who killed Bruce Wayne's parents, who killed the Waynes, and basically, yeah, that's basically just it. And we know that in the comics it was Joe Chill that killed the Waynes, but in the movie they decided to change that to make it more connected to the story, as Tim Burton says. And when Tim Burton says that he didn't have any problem to make changes for this film, well, it is, well, unfortunately to the fans, it is a problem. And yeah, that's basically just it. And that's all I got for negative. Overall, Batman 1989 is basically just a solid film, but ever since the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy has come out, people have been criticizing about how bad the Tim Burton Batman films has been. But, too many people, too many fans, for those of you guys who have seen the show, for those of you guys have seen the movie, have seen the Tim Burton Batman trilogy, like Batman and Batman Returns, too many people grew up on this film. And although that this does have some flaws, like Batman killing, and we know that Batman doesn't kill in the comics, and Batman being like, basically Batman being like the Punisher, wearing a mask and killing his victims, and with other things like um with other things like the belt, like the bat belt, the bat belt, it's really great, but it doesn't show that much of a, it doesn't explain that much and doesn't show that much purpose, like how does it work or something like that. It's never seen, but yeah, but you can understand that. And with Joker killing Bruce Wayne's parents, and basically with that. But other than that, the rest of the story is pretty good, and it's pretty good to follow. It's very entertaining. The funny choreography is really amazing. The action scenes were shot and choreographed very well, and the special effects, they were really great. Looking back at it now, they do seem dated. The visual and special effects, they do seem dated, but they still hold up well today. And Tim Burton does a really great job on visual effects as always in his films. But anyways, overall, this film was really amazing. I give Batman 1989 5 stars and a watch it recommendation. So that's basically it. What do you guys think about Batman 1989? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And I'll be reviewing Batman Returns for another video. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow after, when I'm done with some voice acting on a friend's video. But basically, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video. Although this is the last DC film to review, because we're gonna be in the Joker film now.